What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Joey here from the So Wizard Podcast. Welcome once again to our channel. Thanks so much for checking it out. As always, hit the like, hit the subscribe, and hit the bell so you're always getting notifications when there's new content. And what we're going to do today is kind of review a couple comic books for you. I'm a huge comic book fan, have been since I was a kid. Long time ago, my mom bought me a copy of Spectacular Spider-Man off the spinner rack at the local convenience store. Set me on a path of nerdiness for the rest of my life. Unfortunately, she didn't buy me like Wall Street Journal or like Muscle and Fitness or something like that may have helped me do more than spend money on branded crap for the rest of my life. But here we are. So I haven't read books in a long time. I haven't been buying Wednesday comics in a long time. It's been probably years since I've headed out to the shop and just picked up books. What I wanted to do kind of going forward was just every Wednesday, time permitting, schedule permitting, money permitting, head down to our local comic shop, grab a couple books, just whatever catches my eye. Doesn't have to be DC, doesn't have to be Marvel, could be Independence, could be Image, could be IDW, our good friends over at Valiant. And we'll just see what they're like. We're just going to give you an honest review of comics I've paid out of my pocket for each week and see what we can do for you here on the So Wizard Podcast YouTube channel. So first off, I want to give a huge shout out to our local comic shop, Comics apostrophe More, down in East Hampton, Massachusetts. Love those guys. They take care of us anytime we go in there. My daughter's in there all the time buying graphic novels and things like that, manga. So love those guys. Shout out to Christian and everyone down at Comics and More. Check them out if you can, if you're in the area. If you're not in the area, go support your local comic shop, no matter who they are. As long as they're awesome and treat you well, give them that money out of your pocket and keep them in business. Don't just go downloading free comics on the internet or digital through Comixology. Get them physical from your local comic shop. Keep those guys in business and keep money in their pockets and out of yours. So we're going to start with our first comic book today. And that, my friends, is Reckoning War from Marvel, The Trial of the Watcher. We have drawn by Javier Rodriguez and written by Dan Slott. I met Dan Slott at a Comic-Con in Boston a long time ago, and he was a really cool guy. I really liked him. I think he may have us blocked on Twitter at this point, but back in the day, he was really nice at least. So, we'll see what we got here. And I got to tell you, I wasn't a huge fan of this one. I was not a huge fan of this one. I'm a big Marvel guy, so Marvel is my thing. I'm always going to err on the side of Marvel when it comes between all the companies, because that's what I started reading when I was a kid. That was my big thrust when I was a kid. I was a Marvel zombie at one point, buying almost everything they put out. And I love Marvel. I love all the characters. And I bought this book, number one, Reckoning War, Trial of the Watcher. No idea what it was. Had Fantastic Four on the cover there. And I was excited. Let's check this out. Let's see what it is. And I got to tell you, I wasn't really feeling it. It's mostly a story about the Watcher. Apparently, there is some kind of giant storyline going on that I don't know what the hell it is, because I haven't been reading books every week. So God knows what that is. I guess, in the age of the internet, I could go onto Wikipedia or do some Googling and find out what the storyline is. But for $4.99, should I really have to? I don't know, man. That's not even it's barely a gallon of gas right now. So, it's a kind of a big ask. Art wise, I was feeling it. The art's pretty good. A little cartoony for me, just not what I like. I'm a little more into, it sounds weird, I'm a little more into the 90s or like even more realistic style, George Perez, big fan of John Byrne. In the 90s, I love Jim Lee, who didn't, those kind of books. So it was a little cartoony for me. Basically, the Watcher is on trial for interfering throughout the last, what are you talking about, like 50 years of Marvel? Even though they like to say it was 80 years, even though I remember it being 25 years when I was a kid, and I'm not like 70 years old. So I don't know where we lost that time, but it's been a long time of comics. And the other Watchers strap him into a chair and make him watch the Fantastic Four interact with Galactus for the first time. without him being allowed to interfere and help them. Shenanigans ensue. It's basically a what if storyline, kind of cartoony. And at the end, it's more or less just an advertisement for whatever this storyline is going on in Fantastic Four, the Reckoning War. You know, I wasn't really feeling it. And I feel bad. The very first book I'm doing on this video is something I wasn't really feeling. But as somebody coming from the outside, I mean, I obviously have base knowledge of this characters and the storylines and stuff, but coming from the outside cold, never reading books in the last maybe 5 years since I've gone and been a Wednesday warrior, you know, this really wasn't doing it for me, man. I don't really feel any oomph to continue the storyline. It felt like a story that would take place in between panels or in as a side story in a random issue of a Fantastic Four or Avengers book. I wasn't feeling the what ifness of, once again, we have to see the first time Galactus comes to Earth. I feel like I've seen enough of that between the original books. All the time it's been reprinted. All the times it's been referenced. It was done on the cartoon. It's been done in the movies. I didn't feel the oomph to have to go back to that storyline again. Maybe there was some other storyline we could have gone to. Far be it for me to tell professional writers how to do their job, but I just wasn't feeling it, man. I wasn't feeling it, and I hate to keep coming back to it, but for $4.99 an issue, I really should be blown away. I want to feel like I put $5 down on the counter and I got my $5 worth. I'm not buying it out of habit. I'm not buying it just because I like the Fantastic Four. I should feel like I got my money's worth. So storyline wise, wasn't going for it at all. The art, pretty good art. I'm feeling the art a little cartoony, but not terrible by any stretch of the imagination. Was not going to follow the creative team to multiple books after reading this, but I didn't hate the art, so that's good. There wasn't anything bad about it. I did like the way they made Galactus and everyone look during the fights that were taking place. Just the storyline just didn't grab me. And for $4.99 an issue, I really feel like I should be ready to go. I should be ready to run down to the store when I close the book. And that's how I want to feel. I want that feel from when I was a kid. I couldn't wait 30 more days to get that comic. I used to call the local comic shop at the mall. I was probably about 7 or 8 years old. I used to call them every single Wednesday on the phone and be like, "Hello, this is Little Joey, and did a new issue of West Coast Avengers come out this week?" Because I loved that book so much, and I wanted it every single moment I was reading. I don't get any kind of pull from this book to do that. I certainly don't feel any interest in checking out the rest of the Reckoning War storyline. And I'm sorry, but I just didn't like it. For me, 2 out of 5, man. It's okay. 65 cents off the spinner rack 40 years ago wouldn't have been that big an issue. $5 at the comic book store of 2 comics I bought. It really just felt like I was reading an advertisement for a different storyline. If that's what it is, that's fine. Maybe it accomplishes that and make me aware of something going on in Fantastic Four, but I was really looking for some more meat and potatoes from the book, and this wasn't doing it. So throw it off to the side. The next book I got is 2 of 2. So I got 2 books, and the next one I got was Batman Superman, World's Finest. And this is number 1, the very first issue, written by Mark Waid, drawn by Dan Mora, colors by Tamara Bonvillain. Bro, this comic fucking ruled. Awesome. Blown away. I was blown away when I read this. I could not believe how good this was. I'm not a DC guy. Just said before, I'm a huge Marvel guy, not a DC guy. Not that I dislike DC. I always read Marvel instead. Did dabble in some Superman back in the day when they had the triangles on each book and you buy it every week and you have to put them in order and read it in that order. I used to buy all those. I remember him going into space, wearing the breathing apparatus and wearing like a toga out of his cape. Batman I've read on and off for years. I really liked the most recent one was the New 52 run with Scott Snyder writing it. Those were really good. Well, within reason. I mean, it went a little off the rails at some points, but it was pretty good. I used to buy it back in the day. Detective. I used to read Detective and not the main Batman title. And I really liked Robin back in the day, written by Chuck Dixon and with Tom Grummett art. I really liked that Robin series. So number one, World's Finest, Batman and Superman. Let me get in this frame there. Batman and Superman, bro. And I didn't know what to expect. Not a big DC guy, but I know the broad strokes of the characters. I can tell you, I was blown away. It was awesome, awesome, awesome book. Right off the bat, the art, fantastic. Excellent art. Dan Mora, I want to shake your hand. This art is awesome. It looks straight out of the 90s, and not in a bad way, in a good way. It was with that dynamic, like big, broad strokes, widescreen superhero action. It looks awesome. In this storyline, it's just the first part, but Poison Ivy invades Metropolis. Superman and Batman are teaming up to stop her. Then Metallo shows up. Hijinks ensue. I don't want to ruin some of the cool reveals later on in the book, but it's not beating you over the head with continuity. Right off the bat, if you know who Superman is, and you do, and you know who Batman is and Robin, and you do, that's it. That's really all you need to know. You can jump right into this book. I haven't read books in 5 years. I picked this up off the shelf, and I was right there, man. I knew everything that was going on. Not an issue. Everything's explained really well to you. Mark Waid, man, knocking it out of the park on this one. Good Lord. I can't tell you how much I love this book. I can't do it. I can't sit here for 4 hours and tell you how much more I love this book. But storyline wise, great. Action, great. Not buried in continuity. So you're able to follow it really easily. If you know who the characters are, you're good. It's great, man. There's like lots of cool appearances. Everyone looks like they're supposed to look. The art, man, the art. Good Lord. I mean, look at this. I'm just going to hold it up there. Look at this. Look at this art. This is great. This is the kind of stuff I want to see every comic I buy. Look at this. Oh my God. Awesome stuff. Awesome. Just loved it, man. It was just your flat out regular comic book. It's not fucking Watchmen. You're not getting a deconstruction of comics and everything involved. You're not getting some serious storyline where you don't have to feel like you're a nerd that buys comics every week because look how hoity-toity the books you read are. This is fucking balls out superhero action. It's cool. It's got crossover characters coming in, and everything's explained really well. Easy to follow. Fantastic art. Man, I gotta tell you, I'm all in on this book so far. I am all in. Next month, I'm buying number 2. I'm buying number 2. That's all there is to it. I'm back. This was $5. No, this was only $4. This one was only $4. So $4, 100% worth it. World's Finest number 1, 5 out of 5. 5 out of 5 for me. Buy this book. When we say people need to buy more comics, this is the kind of stuff that we're talking about. Buy this damn book. It was awesome. That's what I got to say about that. That book was great. And that's the kind of stuff I want to see every month. I want to be blown away by these books. I don't want to feel like I just wasted $5. I want to feel like I can't wait to get down to the store and spend another $5. And I'm telling you, I can't wait to go back down the store and get number 2 of World Finest. 5 out of 5. Good job, guys. Loving it. That's it, man. That's it. 2 books. 2 books seems like a good amount. Good cross section of what we want to look at. So we got our 2 comics. There was Reckoning War from Marvel. There was World's Finest from DC. We'll see what comes up next week when I head out to the store and grab a couple more books and check them out. So as always, thank you so much for watching. Again, click the like, click the subscribe, and hit the bell. Leave some comments below. Maybe you've read these books and you don't agree. Maybe you have read these books, you do agree. Maybe you haven't read those books and you don't have any opinion. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you think. And any suggestions of newer books I should be checking out and picking up, let me know as well. We'll see you guys next time. Good journey.